Welcome. We in here. Welcome to the Art Life Podcast. I am your host. I am D Muse, art business coach specializing in sales, marketing, branding, and positioning for visual artists. Of course, the Art Life Podcast is brought to you by the Pay the Artist Club. Make sure you go check out the Pay the Artist Club at imdmuse.com. That is IMD is in Delta, MUSE. Real last name, imdmuse.com. And check out the Pay the Artist Club, our online visual artist group coaching community, so you can grow in an environment of like-minded artists who are pushing each other and are growing very fast. So make sure you tune in and check that out. And actually, this brings us to our topic of today, which is how to network as an artist, right? How to expand who it is that you know and inherently expand your opportunities that you can receive as well. Now, of course, meeting 1,000 people doesn't guarantee you're going to get opportunities, because it doesn't guarantee people are going to resonate with you or what it is that you do. But if you don't meet anybody and you currently don't know anybody who can provide opportunities, then how do you find opportunities, right? So if you don't know them, you got to figure out who got them. You got to go out and meet them. If you can't figure out how to get them to find you and come to you, which is a lot more difficult than it is to locate them and do a little stalking, a little homework, apply some strategy, a plan, and execute it, pull up on them. That's me. If you know me, you know I pull up quick. So let's talk a little bit about networking as a visual artist. And this really is going to pertain to whatever level you are at in your artistic career. Even if you're already with blue chip galleries, this is still tried and true. And you can definitely still grow. And oftentimes when you're in blue chips anyway, they usually have like exclusive representation deals and stuff like that, or at least limited. You can kind of only be in one other place or something, or at least nothing in the immediate market. So that might be within 3 states or something like that, depending on what it is, on the exact agreement. Everybody's situation is a little different, but outside of being at that level, you probably still need to meet a ton of people. So you can have people talking about you, or when somebody does talk about you to someone, you can have people say, oh, I know who you're talking about. You need both of those things happening, right? So you have to get on people's radar. You have to become worthwhile to speak about. And we can talk a little bit about that in a second, right? But first and foremost, where do you get started? First, you get started by pre-ordering the Introverted Artist Guide to Networking book from imdmuse.com. That's how you do that. And with the pre-order, you get your name in the book. If you're seeing this after the book is already dropped, then unfortunately you can't get your name in the book, but you can definitely still grow a lot faster than you might have otherwise, doing what most artists do, which is haphazardly, quote unquote, networking. Just being at an event doesn't mean you're networking, doesn't mean you're expanding. That's what I think of when I think of networking, because I don't really do small talk, so I'm not talking just for no reason. So it's very calculated. If I'm going to do it, if I'm going to step out of my box and interact with other people, being an introvert, it has to be worth something. So I need to make sure I'm talking to the right people, I'm saying the right things, conserving as much energy as I possibly can, and then going back and following up, nurturing those relationships and everything, right? But where do you go? Who do you talk to? How do you start on this thing, right? So, of course, this is going to be a lot more in-depth in the book. I'm going to have strategies. I got a couple of hot tips in the book, probably I think 4 or 5. You'll see them in the red, and it'll say, hot tip, and the joint is oh, he coaching on this joint. He drops some gems. I'm about to implement this immediately and get some results. So I'm actually going to save those hot tips for the book. So it can be your reward. You can read that when you get that. But this conversation came from a coaching call I was having. Was it yesterday or the day before? Within the last couple of days. And the artist was her plan was to, put herself out there in the art world, which I love that plan. So I asked, how you gonna do that? She said, I'm start going to events. I'm like, okay, great. What are you gonna do when you go to the events? Oh, well, I'm gonna try to meet people. Okay, cool. Who are you trying to meet? What are you saying to them when you meet them? What are you telling them? Are you just telling them you're another artist out of the bunch of artists that are probably already gonna be in the building, that are their peers, their friends that are gonna be supporting them? What is it that you're talking about? Do you have any specific places you want to go? Oh, no. Okay. Do you know when you might want to go to some places? When you find the places? Or just whenever, I'll go during the duration of an exhibition. I'm like, so when maybe a handful of people at most are going to be there, that's when you want to go? And that's the only time you want to go? Not have that be a follow-up, or have that be the initial introduction and then you follow behind that by coming to their events? You have to plant seeds and then nurture the relationships. Artists are a class of people that get taken advantage of often, abused often, underpaid, undervalued often. So they're very skeptic about letting new people in and, sharing resources, information, opportunities. Who are you? How are you proven to be of value? How are you proving that you're one of us, and not just because you like to create stuff? How can I see that you're living in your purpose and that this is something that you're driven to do internally, not looking for a side hustle or chasing cloud or trying to get some additional, income, or, something fun to do because you want a hobby? Not stepping into the art world where there's a lot of artists taking this thing serious, or trying to figure out how to show that they're taking this thing serious, or that they want to take this thing serious. So how you identify yourself, right? So when we go to, let's say, an art event, let's say we wanted to go to an exhibition, we're not just going to this exhibition because it's open gallery hours. We want to go to the reception where most of the people are going to be at, where we can maximize us coming out the house, particularly as introverts. Again, I'm going to get the best bang for my buck while I'm out, because it's probably going to take something special to get me out again. So while I'm out, I'm doing this. So I want to meet the artist. I want to meet the curator. I want to meet the manager of the space or the proprietor of the business. I want to meet anybody that looks like they could potentially be a collector. Definitely anybody who purchased any of the art while they were there. Okay, cool. You meeting these people. What do you do when you meet them? What are you saying when you meet them? One, first and foremost, expressing interest, you're expressing any adoration if you had it, any admiration if you have it, tell them about what was aesthetically pleasing about what it is that they do, or what caught you, what brought you in the story, what connected to your soul, That's like flirting for an artist. Tell them you're feeling their stuff and why you feeling it. Don't be superficial with it. Don't be afraid to go deep. Show the vulnerability that they showed in their work. Make it make sense to them why it makes sense to you. Start to build a relationship. Figure out what other shows they have coming up, what other places they're going to be. You really love their work. You would like to tell more people about it. Can you interview with them? Can you do a live? You want to do that. Why? Again, you supporting them, putting some spotlight on them, making them feel good, introduce them to your crowd, which is help marketing. But guess what? You're probably going to tag them as a collaborator, which you should. And they're probably going to accept it and post it. And guess what? Now, everybody that's following them also has access to you, is now aware of you, and you might get some followers. Even if they don't follow you initially, immediately, guess what? They've interacted with your content, even though it's both of your content, it's still your content. And guess what? You're probably popping up on their feed now in the Explore page. And it might take some consistency. It might take a few posts, maybe even a handful. So they say, you know what? I really like what I've been seeing over here. Let me go ahead and follow them. Let me go ahead and interact with them. Let me go ahead and support them. Let me get them opportunities. Let me tell other people about them. Because in networking, you should be seeking to serve. You can come and let people know about your skills, abilities, and you want to come from the perspective of how can I use these talents, skills, and abilities to serve you. In the grand scheme of ultimately serving us. Like, I'm not coming like, no, this ain't slavery, but how can I help you help us, right? So that should be the perspective that you're networking for, and should be targeted. You should research before you go to events. You should have a couple of names if you can. So when you get to places, you can ask who is such and such while you're talking to somebody. Or you can mention somebody's name, or if somebody's name comes up in the conversation, you know who they're talking about. And you know if you need to ask more information about that person, they be like, oh yeah, well Karen does this and that. You're like, oh, Karen. In my mind, I know Karen is the proprietor of the business. Oh yeah, well, what type of stuff is Karen like? I'm gonna get some inside information from whoever I'm talking to right there before I go talk to Karen. Yeah, I haven't got a chance to meet her in person. Is she here? Oh yeah, that's her right over there. Oh great, cool. It was nice to meet you. What was your name? Yeah, I bet I'm gonna make sure I find all right, cool. Yeah, and walk over to, hey Karen, how you doing? Such and such was just saying that you are the person to meet. Oh, great. Yeah, I love such and such. We love their work. They behind. Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, they was telling me about it. Well, yeah, this is, I'm not going to show them no work or whatever, but yeah, I do this and that or whatever. Love what it is that you was doing. Was trying to figure out how I can help you guys do what you've been doing even better, at an even higher level, even greater frequency. How can I help you get in a better position? Because if you're in a better position, ideally you can help me now because you're good. So the faster I help you get to a place where you can help me, the faster I get help. That's how you network. And it's important to make sure you're networking laterally within peer groups, but figure out who like has the info, like who knows what's popping, like, you know, who's kind of, if they're not at something, they know what's going on. You know, they reposting something, they sharing something. You know, see what accounts they following. Follow those, figure out what's going on. Be calculated, especially if you're an introvert, because you gotta make it count. And you might not need to be at everything, especially if it's gonna be draining your energy, because you want to show up as your best self. So wait till you're fully charged. If you need to not go anywhere for a few days because you know Thursday night we going to this, you know, this reception, or we going to see these people talk at this panel, or we going to do this and that. Do what it is you need to do for yourself to protect yourself and your energy. But protect everybody else's energy as well too. Don't hit people with nonsense. Like, be intentional. And seek to do what you can to help people. And you'll find that your network grows. The more you support, you'll find the more responsibility you start getting. And responsibility, hopefully, is attached to some type of compensation. But even if it's not immediate monetary compensation, it can be compensation in the sense of a position maybe that you can leverage, a relationship that you can leverage now to get into something else, to get closer to your goal. So everything doesn't have to be immediate, but what you should, in terms of recouping on this investment, but immediately you should be looking to make that investment into these other people, these other places, these other initiatives that you align with, because helping them will help you. Network from that perspective of who can I align with, and people will let you in, people to open up, and you'll see at least the next step to take. And then you take that one and another one to appear. So it might not totally unfold in the blink of an eye, you know, in a flash, but it will unfold for you. Seek it, because what you are seeking also seeks you. So you got to get out the house, get out the building, network, go find it. Even if you're going to be on social media and not come out of the house, do that as well. Hit people, connect with people, like, comment. You should be commenting all over the place. Making comments usually gets people looking at your profile. And if you have something there that they like and it's consistent, then, you know, essentially you're making a promise that this is what I do here, and they want to see more of that. They're going to start following, and they're going to start interacting. So you want engagement, give engagement. Be engaging. Be interactive. You'll get interaction. Create action, and more action to come, whether online or in person. Be intentional about who it is you're networking with. Don't be a succubus and come and try to see what I can get from them. You'll get something. Even if they never give you anything directly, it could be a potential situation where just helping them gets more doors open for you. So be calculated. Be resourceful. Be the best artist you could be. In terms of finding curators and places, if you come in the door, you can find the lowest ranked curator you can. If you can get them on your team, they're the inside man or woman or non-binary, whatever, and they can open doors for you. So don't always go for the top. you can help that assistant curator or the curatorial intern to look better, do that. They'll appreciate that, and they'll help you look up. If you need more tips, more support with your art marketing, make sure you go to imdmuse.com. Check out the Pay the Artist Club. If we got more room in the club, we'd love to have you. So we can build your strategy and help you grow as an artist, to achieve whatever your goals are. This is D Muse, Pay the Artist.